It seems like Riparian has ventured off and started ranting about the new expansion of HearthStone. Well, there is completely new HearthStone game. Just like I would say Fallout 4 is a new Minecraft. This game should be called Scrollstones, the Legends of the Elder Scrolls, you know? Just saying. Or, yeah, I mean, instead of Heroes of Warcraft, it's Legends of Elder Scrolls. But anyways, it's open beta, everyone can play it, finally, and oh man. It has given me some good impressions. I'm gonna talk about the game overall, the expectations that I had, and they're pretty much, well, satisfied, right? I basically got into Hearthstone Arena. There's not much aggressive play so far. I don't see it working out very well, but there's one aspect that will trigger aggressive play, and it's the need to get the rewards fast, right? Need to get through the rank system fast, so people will still want to create aggressive decks. It doesn't matter if there's just one aggressive deck that is possible to make, just like Shaman in Hearthstone is still gonna piss off people, is still gonna be available. If I was to make aggressive deck, I wonder what kind of attributes you have to combine together. So definitely you would combine some kind of strength attribute, and every single attribute, there are 5 of them, kind of has a different style of play, and you combine 2 together and you kind of get a deck basically. So far I went through, let's say, 5 combinations out of 10. I started off with this guy, so I thought it is gonna be the best combination. You have a ramp from endurance, which is purple. You have, wait, it's what is it? Agility, okay. Alright, so agility gives you a lot of kind of removal creatures. So this guy is very powerful as a prophecy. It comes and stops attack. Not only does that, it can kill a very big minion. But there's more to it. So there's some cheap removals. There's some card draw, so recycle effects. You have some late game, but the only card that stands out is this guy and this guy. This guy is just, I believe you can only have one in the deck because it's a legendary, and it's a win condition. But because you have to have 50 card decks, it's like this is not gonna be a consistent win condition. It's just gonna be something that sometimes you're gonna draw, you're gonna put, and you're gonna hope that your opponent doesn't have removals. Well, you will have removals. Your opponent will have a lot of removals because that's the main thing, to kind of try to get away from these clutch situations where things can get out of control, and you also want to create some kind of situations for yourself. So there's one combination of removal that is like ridiculous right now, but it's still inconsistent because it's just one card, right? You can only have up to 3 cards per deck of the same copy. So now I play this mage deck, mage and intelligence and willpower combination, to have a good early game, have some removal that actually deals specific amount of damage. Like lightning bolt is very flexible, you can do it to your opponent. And again, as you can see, there are not many Borklairs. I am not running any Borklairs. I only shackle, so it's like a freeze effect, which is much more expensive than in Hearthstone. So these kind of effects, I'm really glad they figure out that they have to be very expensive. And it's really satisfying to just fight through with monsters rather than expect some kind of fireball hitting your face twice and you dying because of that. The game is actually almost you never feel like you're losing the game. Even at the last moment when you have one rune left, you can still pull something off. You can still pull a prophecy, you can still put some guards to back you up. It's never over. The game is just that great. You can come back if you let your opponent draw your cards. Your opponent runs out of cards, runs out of steam. You build a board, you come back on the board, and you win the game anyways. The powerful combination here is this guy, Shackled. When enemy creature becomes shackled, and shackle effects, just like freeze effects in Hearthstone, you deal 3 damage. It's ridiculous because any damage you can pull off is very expensive. So if you can find some shackle effects, I saw Agility having some shackle effects and I got tracked by them. A player just was able to draw 3 of those and more than 3 shackle effects. Just it went out of control. So sometimes people can get lucky, of course. There's some RNG in what cards you draw, but overall the cards don't really have much RNG. It's all about what kind of situation you end up with by drawing cards and what your opponent draws. And so you shouldn't rely on any specific card, rather, or any specific combination. Rather, just have a decent deck that tends towards some kind of play, some kind of overall combination of cards. So again, my deck tries to take over the early game. The most powerful effects come from these cards that asks you for a condition to have more health than your opponent. So if you do get just a tiny bit ahead, you don't want to get too much ahead. You don't want to give cards to your opponent unless you're really marginally ahead on the board. Then you just want to crush as fast as possible for your opponent not to be able to play all the cards, right? So these effects are really powerful. Usually, so I run 4 cards. This card seems to be a little bit more powerful than this. Although this is a guard, it's still worth playing. This card just kind of crushes. Even though it's kind of random, you have to have a lot of minions. But if you take over the early game, you put this, you basically win the game. Just because you get wards, you get drains are really powerful. What else? Lethal is pretty powerful keyword. Some keywords are much more powerful than others, pretty much. I'm not sure if there are any more relevant ones. Yeah. So what else do we have? I can go through all the decks that I've made. So I've started with this, then I try to do something more aggressive, because red kind of takes aggression in early game and is able to kind of push lethal in the late game. It's kind of the game style I figure out so far. Has some really powerful late game cards, I believe. And you kind of want those. You either want for late game, you either want to crush your opponent or protect yourself. So this card is powerful, crushing all the guards and going through everything. This card is ridiculously powerful. This card is also relevant. destroying all the guards and going through, right? This card is also very relevant. It is a recycle. It breaks through, it protects you as well. It's really cool. This is also a good card. I figured. I haven't went through any of other cards. I couldn't even activate this with this deck overall. So this effect, if you have more health, is pretty hard to activate if you just don't take board control. You can have a lot of aggression in the early game, but you have to kind of take over the board. And then if you have board control, and you don't have board control with endurance, you just simply ramp most of the time. So you have ramp card like this, ramp card like this. This is a powerful one for ramp. I missed out to put in another one, but maybe not. It was a double attribute card, so double attribute cards are very unique for the decks, right? You can only have selected 2 attributes and it will align with which cards you can get from here. So it's very specific. Now, and also powerful most of the times, or synergistic, as you saw. Perhaps it was just for orcs. Hey, come on, give me the tag. What happened? Seriously. Oh yeah, I can only craft. I don't have any of those cards. Draw random orc, so it's orc synergy, obviously. At the start of turn, summon a random creature from your deck. Yeah. That's pretty powerful. Summoning more creatures, it's always a good idea. So what else? I've tried this. I thought before I tried the super powerful mage deck, I thought, okay, I'm gonna swarm, I'm gonna ramp, I'm gonna draw some cards. It kind of worked out. This dark cultist from HearthStone just carried a lot of cards for me in the late game. The card advantage really matters, because when you are ahead and you don't take a lot of damage, you're not gonna have card advantage unless you have cards like these helping you kind of get that advantage anyways. I think it's about time just to show you some gameplay, then we're gonna talk. Oh yeah, I should add this card, and it's sad that it's very specific for a specific class. So classes is the combination of 2 attributes. Yeah, it's a powerful card, definitely. All removals are very useful. So I basically run 3 of those, I believe, in the mage deck, just because of how powerful they are. Even though they seem expensive and stuff like that, but just because it's a prophecy, and prophecy seems to be quite useful, quite much more useful than I thought they would be. So they definitely are worth 2 Magicka, right? The prophecy, or 1 to 2, so 1.5, I would say. And it grows depending on how big of a minion is with the prophecy. If it's a really big minion, it can come down early on. It can crush your opponent, stuff like this. Alright, we can get some ranked. I went up to rank 5 so far. I don't know how high its overall is in this state, in this game state, how many people are playing, how many went this high. I don't know. I just feel I played 2 days. I don't know. I made a good combination so far, but I've seen some cool decks as well. So it's really satisfying to see and explore other people's decks as well. It seems like we're gonna have a very good game against similar rank. I'm still not familiar with the classes. I think I'm gonna keep this just because of how powerful it is. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to play Pit Lion early on, but it's a powerful card if you can pull it off. I might get stuck right now. So you have 3 coins if you start second. It's very great. It's very balanced. It just feels like a balanced Hearthstone arena. But you can construct your own decks, so it's just so satisfying. I'm gonna skip the turn. I have nothing to play. I'll play this guy to challenge his 3-drop. Hopefully. He's shackling. It doesn't do much. He basically wastes shackle effect. That's a good deal for me. But at the same time, there's a problem here because it's gonna trade into my dude. So he wants to take over the shadow lane. Fine. Just because I put the monster here, he's trying to defend it. So yeah, it seems to be reactionary. He just removed it. It's pretty expensive to do something like that. Now I'm able to put a Pit Lion with an awesome combination. I still want to be a little bit more aggressive, although I would want to control the board a little bit as well. I just want to draw cards, so if he decides that he wants to put more minions here, attack here, draw me more cards, because I'm a bit more wasteful here. Alright, let's see. So, what is he playing? He's playing Mage, who's gonna use some shackle effects. I don't think that was a good idea. But, yeah, it's like, what the fuck. I don't think that was a good idea, to shackle all this. I don't see much value in doing so. Alright, I get a buff. These creatures are very cool. Just give you possible cool effects if you have a top card being the same attribute. Now the thing is, you can kind of have a combination from different attributes, right? Like every single attribute has one of those cards. Oops. That's why it's very powerful to have prophecies. Like, you never know when you remove a creature, but it's gonna be really powerful. Alright, we can push for a lot of damage. I don't think I want to defend myself. I just want to draw cards right now. If he decides that he just wants to shadow lane on me. So I'm just gonna draw him 2 cards. I'm pushing for a lot of damage. So I don't care a lot. As long as it's not a prophecy, it's not gonna affect the game at all. He has been pretty wasteful. I don't think he can come back. Okay, he has this guy combination. So if he can pull off some shackles, he's gonna come back to the board. Otherwise, I'm gonna remove it because it's very... Yeah, he also kind of removed my dude. Oh no. There's one problem here. I want to remove this, then I can use this. It's a very powerful spell. So if I draw, if I get what I want right now, if I activate the effect, oh man. I can remove this, right, I can remove this, then attack here, remove that. He activated Prophecy. The game kind of stops for your opponent to do the thing that he's supposed to do. Hopefully he's not going to remove anything. He didn't even activate the Prophecy. So he's now in big trouble, because I'm threatening lethal. When you threaten your opponent, it just gets terrifying. He either has to create really powerful cards, has to remove creatures, has to be out of focus of what he used to do, right? So he's still gonna try to use the Shackle effect. It seems like an overpowered card right now, because Shackle is overall pretty good. So, I don't know, man. Like, he was able to draw this, obviously because I gave him a lot of card draw. Let's see. Silences, it doesn't do much. I'll give him
Impressive for one without scales.
a
By
good
the
game.
end of a fine battle.
Although it's not definitely over.
I bow to your victory.
Or it is. He doesn't trust in his prophecies at all. So basically win the game easily, just like I thought I would be winning so far. It's a great deck, absolutely. I tried to take over the early game. I was surprised to not see any aggressive cards because he was running strength attribute. I was surprised, really. Huh. Oh, I don't want to play. I don't want to play. I want to play one match in solo arena. It is seemingly satisfying. Oh, I have to build a deck as well. So we can go through some cards, we can review them again. Maybe pick up a few ideas. So, these are the classes basically. You can learn classes through playing arena basically. I haven't played arena against real players. I feel kind of about that. Maybe I'll try it at some point. I'm just not sure yet. I should try basically. All right, so we have. I just basically have a bias right now to pick up willpower. It seems such a powerful thing because you have very good quality minions and you can take over the game in some way, and then you have the other attribute to kind of crush your opponent in whatever other way you want to do, but you generally want to take over the board somehow. Everything else is just supportive. So I like this card. You generally just want to pick all the early game in the arena, at least in solo arena, because some wild effects require you simply to put or defend yourself or put a lot of early game pressure. So okay, every time I'm gonna see this guy, and you're gonna see this guy a lot because it's a willpower common, just ignore it. I don't know, it's a good body, but it has this condition for you to play an action. Although there is an action, it's gonna be rare for you to get any actions from willpower. So it's kind of like one of those cards that require you to have another attribute with a bunch of actions. Or just take all of these crush blows. I'll take that instead of crush blow, even though crush blow is pretty good card. So far it has been played quite a bit. I'll take one of those removals. I could have taken a cheaper one. Alright, this card is pretty good, but you have to have consistent early game. And it's again, the game is packed of very cool combinations, very powerful cards, but nothing really seems too overpowered except that Shackle dude. That Shackle dude is causing some problems here. But yeah, just Freeze Mage, right? Freeze Mage is coming back or creeping in. This guy is pretty good. It's late game, it does something. Same as HearthStone. You have to have late game that either protects you or does something powerful. Similarly to protect you, but you know, not like this. You wouldn't want something like this. It would just die to a minion. I mean, this guy's pretty good. Constantly buffs creatures, and the buff is pretty good as well. Oh, wait, what? On your first turn? What does that mean? Let's pick this card because I don't understand what it means. But if that is the same that one card, I don't remember. It's 6 mana 4/4. It reduces costs by 1. Wait. Oh. It reduces to 1 if that's my first turn. Oh. Oh, damn. It might be a really bad card just because of the condition. Prophecy, always good to take that. I'll take that as well, probably. There's some goblin themes as well. There are a lot of cool themes, basically. But orcs and goblins don't seem to pull off yet. I guess agility is about 2 cool themes so far. I haven't seen any other themes yet. I saw a guard theme, but it is bad because your opponent is gonna want to kill all the guards. You cannot cover the guards, so they will always pop up for your opponent to kill. These are 2 good cards. You always want something to bring you back to the game, to drain your opponent's health, to give you to your hero. I will pick Drain basically over Piloted Shredder. And Piloted Shredder, believe it or not, even though it's consistent, you know what kind of 3/3 you're gonna get out of a 3/3. But it's still not that overpowered. Overall, it's pretty good, but every card is pretty good already. Alright, I picked up a bigger dude, but now I'm gonna... Huh, these both are prophecies, huh? I'll take that. I like growing the board a little bit more than having some shitty lethal creatures. Because sometimes you grow the board, you basically trade. You don't have to actually trade by losing a creature with lethal, or just having a guard that is small is really irrelevant. So I either want to take a card draw or a really good 2-drop, so I'll take a good 2-drop. Alright, so we have some shitty cards. Well, I'll pick for variety and prophecy, basically. I'm taking all our prophecies. This guy's pretty shitty. All neutral prophecies are pretty shitty. I'll take this. And now every single action becomes a little bit more powerful. So I'll take those. I'll take the card draw. I don't know if I either want this for late game or card draw for late game. I will actually take a card draw. We have more removal. It seems like very cool early game deck so far. I'll pick Drain just to get ahead in health. Maybe I'll need this effect. Yeah, this is a good late game as well. This is a good card draw in general. I might try some kind of deck with this, but it's expensive because it's epic rarity. I'm not sure how rarities are called yet, but I'll assume it's just the same as HearthStone, because it's such a copy of HearthStone, just so obvious. But at the same time, it's much better. Just like as a programmer, I'm trying to create a better version of Minecraft. because I think it's the best game ever. Again, it's a little bit off topic, but it's something that I'm doing in my channel. Is trying to create a spawned engine, and that is... I probably should have taken removal. I have a lot of drains. I'll take this, just because it's a crush card combination. More removal or a big dude? I think... let's take a big dude. This is a good removal, but it's very inconsistent. Yeah, that seems a good card. So we're gonna go through one match. Sometimes you get in a clutch match where your opponent is overpowered in terms of all this random stuff that is happening. It randomly sets up lanes, it randomly sets up effects. So sometimes you can get crushed by really early game, but that's the only way so far that I have been crushed. There's nothing special about this match, you just get some guards early on. So for me it's great if I get a buff.
We are ready for
but otherwise it's not special. I'm not gonna put a guard yet. I must anticipate. Alright. I want to destroy his rune as fast as possible to activate this card. I'll put a guard as well. So next turn I should be able to destroy a rune.
Who is the client today?
Or not. Because he puts a guard as well. Alright then. Needs to attack here. Need some health. I could have executed, right. Could have executed and still play that. I think that was a mistake. I'm not sure how he attacked twice though. Wow. Yeah, that's a good dude. Master of Thieves, huh? Let's wreck that, buddy. So we're gonna get that going on. I'm gonna trade out to make sure this doesn't trigger. Alright, he made a very slow turn. Again, it's an AI, it's gonna make some shitty plays. I think I'm gonna start ramping up on this guy, because I have one drain. So this can get out of control. But there are a lot of cards that can get out of control. This happens to be epic, so you can have 3 copies, I believe. Alright, this guy wants to draw a lot of cards. We're not gonna give him that opportunity. Gonna trade with that. Gonna be able to play another monster to start pilfering him. Oh shit.
They make it too easy.
Alright, I see what you're doing. I will kind of ignore this. In general, I'm drawing cards, I'm gonna build up a board.
Khajiit will find a way in.
But it's getting out of control. Luckily he didn't figure out to put this guy here and win the game. I wouldn't be able to protect with this guy. Yeah, I would have lost if the AI was a little bit more smarter. I think I'm gonna sacrifice that. I really don't want to, but I don't have any buffs. I can go place this, but it kind of trades out. Oh, enemy creature. God damn it. I failed to activate that guy. Alright, I'm gonna put some on stealth. Destroy enemy rune. activate another prophecy, but it also buffs my dude.
And retract your claws.
Alright, alright. I'm just gonna ignore this, because you kinda go through taunt. Then I'm gonna trade with this. It's pretty simple sometimes, or most of the times.
Clear out.
Also, you sometimes get some pull games, regardless. Like right now, I'm pretty much losing.
Khajiit is ready to
It's
help.
all about whether I can pull off. Alright, pull off a drain.
It's nothing.
That's how we do it. So I'm gonna trade these two guys, put some protection
If I fall,
here.
Let me lighten your load. Farewell, fool.
This guy gonna get out of control once I drain, bam, set up the board, then trigger another prophecy. That's great. Now I'm in winning position basically.
My claws are sharp.
He's getting wrecked real hard right now. And I think that's gonna do it.
has had enough. Bark and
Let's try with this first.
has had enough.
The high attack minions are very good
Farewell,
in
fool.
avoiding rune destruction. So if I would had 8 attack before I destroyed the rune, I would be able to avoid prophecy effect for trigger because I already have lethal. But otherwise you don't want to trigger that many rune card draws. How would you call that? I'll just take another one. It's a buff, it's a good card. Or rather, a really good card. But I will not play any more games.
Another step closer.
Rather, this is gonna be it. Alright, that kind of sums up the whole experience, hopefully. It's kind of my impression of the game, which is much better than HearthStone, okay? It's much more balanced so far. Again, I will still have problem by incentivizing players to try to build aggressive decks and go through the game really quick. So far people are genuinely playing the game. They're not roping, they're not trying really hard. So early on it's a good atmosphere right now, good meta, right? But as more and more players, or if this is gonna become popular, as long as this is not popular, like people are gonna like really attach to this as a means of entertaining themselves. It's not gonna be competitive, it's not gonna be anything special in terms of like streaming and stuff like that, like not yet. But as it gets more popular and more players want to get more advantage, it's gonna get out of control. Because you get a lot of good rewards completing up to your daily limit. So that is a huge incentive to create well, a fast deck that would grind you up, not only in ladder but give you gold to, you know, do some other stuff, buy some packs. Alright, that's about it. I guess that was a minor rant from me as well, but who knows where this game is going. I mean, who knows what kind of expansions we can expect. So far I don't know anything. What is this question mark has to do? Okay, this kind of explains most of the stuff, even though you want to watch a video to explain it for you, right? Alright, that's gonna be about it. Thank you guys for watching, and probably I'm gonna make a few more videos about this game if we see some cool things to say.